Good to be there. Michael Jordan and the Wizards wanted to erase memories of a late November loss against the Cavaliers at the Gun, but instead, Mike created another last-second memory to haunt the Cavs.
Cavs basketball starts right now.
There is my partner revving things up, and Butch Davis and family checking out the contest and watching the alley-oop to Michael, and the visitors up by 12 at the half. Cavaliers on a 22-4 run. Jermaine Jones to Ricky Davis. It's 71 all. Then Person scores 7 in a row, and the Cavaliers were leading by 12 with over 7 minutes to go. Enough? I don't think so. Michael, jumper. Wizards 86-85. And then Chris Mim. He'll get the putback with 1.6 to go, and the Cavaliers led by 1, but it's way too much time. Jordan comes open easily with the 18-footer. The only thing missing, Craig Ehlo. And Mike puts the dagger in and twists it. The Wizards win 93-92. Different uniform, same villain.
You know, Doug drew up both of those plays. I'm pretty sure he feels good about it. I mean, lose this game, I think, you know, after the way we get off to a good start, you know, it would have been a big loss for us, but just having a chance to win. I mean, you know, we fought back from a 10-point deficit and then fought back from a 5-point deficit. So, I mean, you know, we just fought and grind our way to a win. And, you know, with that last play, obviously, I mean, I've had some big shots here in Cleveland, and, you know, they keep rolling.
You remember that shot? That was just unbelievable back when Ehlo and company couldn't put a handle on. Same thing tonight. Mix up somewhere with Jones and Stith. I don't know what happened there. Bottom line was you can't leave this guy open. They'll kill you.
Cavs will never have me start a game again.
See, that's what you did. And when they were up by 12, you figured you had done it. By the way,
striding ever so confidently into Gun Arena, Michael Jordan reminded of the words from Cavalier Ricky Davis, who issued the verbal challenge to Michael Jordan. Close to 20,000 will see that tonight here at Gun Arena. Person to triple. Brian Skinner, who delivers the jump hook to Phil. Person to trigger. Wes Person, absolutely scorching. Can book this one to the Cavaliers. Gun Arena, downtown Cleveland. The entire city all set to go for the appearance of number 23, Michael Jordan. This is the Gun, the home of the Cavaliers, and welcome to NBA basketball on Fox Sports Net. John Lucas and the Cavaliers do indeed welcome in Doug Collins, Michael Jordan, and the Washington Wizards. Terrific to see you. Great to have you with us, everybody. With my partner, Matt Gukas, I'm Michael Regai. A dazzling way, huh, to end a 12-game losing slide. Cavaliers with a season-high 114 points. Matty, they shot the ball superbly, played outstanding defense. Need to bottle and cap it tonight against Washington. Wesley Person, that 27-point barrage, but it's more than just shooting the basketball now for Wes. He's playing every aspect of the game.
Hey, Wesley Person has been dazzling with the three-point shot for the last couple of months. But what has happened, it's resulted in other things. Wes is now running the floor better, getting some easy layups in transition, getting to the free throw line, getting some rebounds in traffic. And what a defensive job he did the other night on Wally Szczerbiak, basically shutting him out for the 3 quarters that he guarded him. It's nice to see Wesley Person incorporating the whole game into the package.
Big smile on his face because of it. All of you are very astute NBA and Cavalier viewers. We know you've been listening to Matty and I talk about Brian Skinner in the starting lineup. Doesn't need the ball to be effective. He's been giving John Lucas just that.
Well, it hasn't resulted in any wins for the Cavaliers until the other night against Minnesota, but it gives the ball club a different look. It's a guy who does not need the basketball, will do all of the dirty work, a guy with a defensive mindset, and by the way, Brian Stith gives you the same thing, so now you've got a little bit of balance out on the floor. 11-9, that's just icing on the cake for Brian Skinner and the Cavaliers. All you want him out there for is the hard work primarily.
He does that, brings the lunch pail with him. You know, at this time last year, 42 games in, Washington, 834 already buried. 21-21 right now with thinking playoffs, and Michael Jordan carrying that torch, Matty, and he's trying to take them to dizzying heights.
Well, it's been a remarkable first half of the season for Michael Jordan, having his ball club at 500. What is next? Is he going to lead them to the playoffs? He is just now rounding into shape. He says his legs feeling good under him. He's got rhythm on his shot. His field goal percentage is improving. All of that spells trouble for future teams trying to figure out a way to stop Michael Jordan.
And how? On that 40-point dropping against the Cavs last week, the 14th time he's gone 40 or better against the Cavaliers in his glorious career. With that, we swing you into our Wendy's game notes brought to you by our friends at Wendy's. Season series tied at 1 apiece. Both have won on their home floor. Cavaliers successful. Only one loss in the last 7 against Washington here in Gund Arena. Michael Jordan, as we've talked about, he has been absolutely Scrooge-like against the Cavaliers, whether it's been in a Chicago Bulls uniform or now a Washington Wizards uniform. We'll break down Michael's game when we get back.
Just another new year? Not this one, because Chevy's kicking it into overdrive with $2,002 cash back and 5.9% APR on every new SUV. Use the cash to lease a Chevy Trailblazer LS 4x4 for as low as $349 a month for 36 months. Residency and other restrictions apply. See dealer for important lease details. So don't make this the same old new year. See your Chevy Network dealer today.
In an effort to skirt our network reliability issues, meet our new email system, TED.
FYI, HR meeting moved to Fishbowl. We can't keep doing this. Meet me for lunch, Mr. Allen. The 11 o'clock has been moved to 10 o'clock.
But it's 10:15.
Urgent Ted mail coming through.
Need to CC Zurich and Taipei on this. Where's that Ted mail?
He's probably having trouble getting a cab.
TED's okay. A more reliable network is better. SBC Ameritech data. We're on it.
How'd your date go?
How did the date go?
Good.
I think it went well.
What do you wear?
Khakis and sandals.
He's intellectual. He reads, is totally into foreign films. He's a great talker. Very athletic, very good body.
I think he's really deep and special.
Talking things over? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
He doesn't even own a TV. Keeper.
I love this show.
The atmosphere is sure to be electrifying inside Gund Arena tonight. It is time for our Discount Drug Mart scouting report. And with the Washington Wizards in town, whom else but Michael Jordan? Back-to-back 40-point performances last week, Matty. One of those against the Cavaliers. But how do you stay down as a defender on his pump fakes?
Oh, yes, Michael, he of the hot hand. You've got to stay down on his pump fakes. He depends on that to get you a little bit off balance and possibly draw some fouls. Should be $100 for anybody that goes for that fake. And you got to crowd him. Got to make him put the ball on the floor. Now, you don't want to give him any layups or dunks, so you need a lot of help from your teammates to meet him around the basket. And at approaching 39 years of age, a very good team defender, not such a hot individual defender anymore, so you want to run him off those screens as much as possible.
Michael wasn't happy the first time the Wizards were here at Gund Arena. The Cavaliers want to keep him in that same type of mood that he was in the latter stages of November. Washington Wizards, they're here at the Gund against the Cavaliers, and we're getting close to tip-off time. Michael Jordan, he's been a Cleveland Scrooge down through the years.
When it comes to full-size trucks, it used to be just Ford and Chevy.
Now it's Tundra.
More and more people are getting the Toyota Advantage, like Tundra.
It's got more power and higher ground clearance.
And Tundra's worth more when you sell it. Not that I would.
Toyota Tundra, now with 2.9 financing or $500 customer cash back. Get the advantage.
Get the feeling.
See your Toyota dealer today.
The thin-lipped bluebird sings at midnight.
And what's in the bluebird's nest?
The pig sunbathes with his brother.
Do the pigs need a home?
The old lady runs 95 miles down Main.
So that's a thin crust pizza with ham and sausage going to 95 Main Street?
Right.
Thank you for calling Papa John's. We gotta stop keeping our thin crust a secret.
At your neighborhood Papa John's, the secret is out. Thin is in. And if you like thin crust pizza, you'll love Papa John's.
Call Papa John's today and get a large 2-topping thin crust pizza for just $9.99. That's right, just $9.99.
I'm Chris Mihm of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I'm Jermaine Jones.
I'm Lamont Murray.
I'm John Lucas, head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I believe in myself, and I believe in my team.
I believe in Bingo Smith and Larry Nance.
And I believe in you.
And I believe in you.
The basketball fan.
I believe in this city.
I believe Cleveland rocks.
I believe you play basketball with your heart.
Be there as the Cavs take on Jordan, Kobe and Shaq, Iverson, and the NBA's best with a discount 10 game plan. Call 1-800-332-CAVS.
Cavs basketball. Get close.
Leading the way, Ford's leading the way, wherever you're headed today.
When you make safety a top priority, it's bound to get the attention of others. And now just announced, get $2,500 lease cash on Taurus, which means you can drive one for $259 a month for 36 months. That's $259 a month on the 5-star safety-rated Taurus. Affordability, safety, and security. Part of our commitment to be the best.
Leading the way, Ford's leading the way.
Hey, hasn't John Lucas been talking about Cavalier crazies and reinforcements to help the cause here at Gund Arena? Here they come. Nice garb, fellas. The look is beautiful, to say the least. We'll see if that helps to bring the Cavaliers a little bit more of the same as they had on Tuesday night. Take a look at our 10 on the floor, brought to you by Ford, Michael Jordan, Popeye Jones, Jahidi White, the starting front line for Doug Collins and the Washington Wizards. Chris Whitney, the 8th-year pro at Clemson, and Courtney Alexander, the 2nd-year pro at Fresno State. He's in the starting lineup because Hubert Davis, one of the top 5 three-point shooters in the NBA, is home in Washington, D.C., ill with the flu. Doug Collins, now in his 7th season as an NBA head coach, of course, had a lot of playoff success with the Detroit Pistons following that first stint as the head coach of the young Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls. And Doug Collins, the former #1 draft selection overall in the NBA back in 1972. Cavaliers in the front court, Brian Stitt, who's averaged 17 a game in his 2 starts for the injured Lamont Murray, along with Brian Skinner and Chris Mihm in the middle. Andre Miller, another double-double, of course, had a triple-double his 2nd of the year. And Wes Person, who's been shooting the basketball absolutely mind-boggling fashion from three-point range. Wesley at 54% in this month of January on the triple hits. John Lucas finally got that elusive 150th career victory and got rid of the 12-game losing slide at the same time. That happened in the Cavs. Rather resounding 33-point squashing of the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday evening. Settle back and enjoy it. Michael Jordan's here, not in the red and black of the Chicago Bulls, but in the teal blue of the Washington Wizards. Get to the hoop all night long on Fox Sports Net. Cavaliers will get the first look on the offensive end. Season high 114 points. Brian Skinner inside. Michael Jordan with the active hands on the rip away. Matty, we saw that the other evening, too. The Cavaliers making a conscious effort. Skinner will set the screen. Nobody looks at him. Get him diving right to the front of the rim.
Exactly where he should be, either to catch a pass or possibly get an offensive rebound, just like Jahidi White's doing.
Well, speaking of the front of the rim, Jahidi White, 2nd time to crush for the Washington Wizards. Delay a game, says Joey Crawford. So, yeah, Jahidi White following the same suit that Brian Skinner did for the Cavs.
They're not going to throw the ball to Jahidi too often. He's not a post player or anything like that, but he's going to get opportunity catches, and because his man is generally going to be helping out on Michael Jordan and others.
Chris Mihm, the spinning jumper goes. That might be a very fortuitous sign for the Cavaliers.
Well, you want to go inside and pound in there. They're not a very tall front line by any means until they go to the bench and bring in their rookie Brendan Haywood, who's a legitimate 7-footer.
So Bryant Stiff getting the starting call tonight, and also the assignment on Michael Jordan. Courtney Alexander, the step-back jumper that he sticks.
This is about his 3rd game back from coming off the injured list, and has gotten some significant minutes of late, but overall he's been a major disappointment to the Wizards. Just really didn't come into this season ready to play.
Chris Mihm trying to go strong through the paint, left it shy with the left hand, and it'll be Washington basketball. There were many around the NBA, Matty, that felt last year at draft time that Courtney Alexander might be the most polished and NBA ready of those shooting guards that came out.
Well, they were going to be the cornerstones. Courtney Alexander and Richard Hamilton. Lob to Jordan.
Taken away, though, as Blaine Reichelt said before Michael got airborne, Brian Skinner held him, so that'll be Skinner on the first personal foul. All right, let's give my partner, the always astute Matt Gukas, to work. Our Toyota keys to the game. How do the Cavaliers repeat success?
Well, like Minnesota the other night, push the ball at every opportunity. Washington very slow in getting back on defense as Alexander knocks down another one. Got to help on MJ. If you're going to crowd him, You're going to need help from the big people inside. And it's not a horrible rebounding team. They're much better than they were early in the season, mainly, again, because of Haywood. But you want to bang the boards hard, both ends.
Courtney Alexander did indeed knock down his second straight jumper while we were going through our keys to the game. And now off the Bryant stiff miss, Washington the offensive end. Popeye Jones on the show and go. Jordan to lift up and lace it. And that the response from those that fancy being like Mike, number 23 here at the gun.
Well, Michael takes so many jump shots, not from three-point range or anything. He's not shooting it well from out there, but when you pound as hard as he does to shoot jump shots, you have to have strong legs, and that's been something Michael's been battling with ever since he decided to come back. He says he's there now.
Andre Miller turned the corner, got in the paint, not a lot of resistance, and stroked his first jump shot of the evening. Well, Andre off that double-double. 54 career double-doubles for Andre Miller in 207 games played. Michael Jordan stroking the deep jumper. He's 2 for 2, and Washington shooting the basketball beautifully to start.
On that possession, Michael got a touch, gave it up if you can, and it's not easy to do. You try to try to keep the ball out of his hands coming back the other way, but he uses the screen so well.
Speaking of out of the hands, Wes Person, I tell you, he finds the seams right now. He's in such a groove. The basketball seems like it barely does touch the awaiting palms of Wes Person before he delivers. Whitney got into the paint on the step and got Andre Miller off his feet, and that'll be Andre on the Cavaliers' personal foul.
Team foul number 2.
Well, Matty, Chris Whitney, this Washington ball club, they are 6th in the NBA. We just saw one of the best shooting teams in the league. Washington comes in here 6th in long distance three-point shooting. They don't have Hubert Davis tonight. Rip Hamilton was tremendous before he went down with injury, and Chris Whitney, also a young man over 40% from beyond the arc.
Well, the big key for Washington is try to stay close in games and have Michael take over with about 6 minutes to go. And for him to be effective down the stretch when the defenses are really keying on him, you need three-point threats out there. So they're going to be missing one tonight. Although Richard Hamilton, who's not really a three-point shooter, shooting 5 for 10, which is a good percentage, he's back in uniform and ready to go.
Yes, he is. Expect to see Rip Hamilton tonight. Andre Miller slashing, Person to triple. It's going to come up back heel. Wesley had a clean look at it, but again, you go back this entire month of January. Wes Person now 27 of his last 51 from long distance, and that's just a shade under 57% for the month. Mim out to show and help Andre Miller. Chris Whitney to tee it up and fill it up. Had a foot on the line. Washington continues to dazzle with the shooting exploits.
And at the offensive end, the Cavaliers can, I think, take some liberties as far as going to the offensive board. Washington is not a very good transition team. They don't look to fast break all that often because they don't really have a good floor leader out there in terms of running the fast break.
Brian Stiff not able to cash out the three. Off the leg of Brian Skinner, so that's the second time here in the first 4 minutes since a change. And Michael Jordan with the active hands has had a rip away on Brian Skinner. This Washington ball club right at the 500 mark. They got beat the other night at home by the Detroit Pistons after they had won back-to-back against the Cavaliers and Phoenix. The reverse, going glass for Jahidi White, the big fella out of Georgetown.
Well, normally it's Michael Jordan trying to get off with the jump shots in most games. So far, Chris Whitney making his presence felt, and Jahidi White. That just makes the job of Michael Jordan that much easier.
John Lucas wants to talk about it. 22nd timeout as we take a look. Matty, Jahidi White going to roll right off that pick, huh?
Well, the slip in there as Brian Skinner anticipated the high pick and roll situation, getting ready to step out. You got to have that inside hand kind of holding a little bit to slow up the progress of the slip on the pick.
Last night at dinner here at just a wonderful Italian establishment in the Cleveland area, did we not break down the pick and roll and every?
I thought we touched it all.
Coach, you put on a clinic. You gave us you had the salt shakers and the pepper shakers out, and you were using some of the silverware and the dishes. You did a great job.
I learned more from Jackie Regai than I learned in a long time. She knew more about the pick and roll than many. Me included.
I hope she didn't hear that. She'll be absolutely unbearable to live with. Andre on a step through and got a whistle. Blaine Reichelt said, yeah, Chris Whitney, you got a piece of the body of Andre Miller.
Well, Andre Miller going to get himself in all kinds of trouble here, as Jahidi White does a good job of coming over to block the path of Andre, and Andre did a good job of bailing out there and able to draw enough contact to get himself to the free throw line.
So Andre averaging 16 points, 10.3 assists, back to #1 in the NBA. No, Matty, the other night we didn't talk about it a lot, but I want to ask you real quickly. There was a lot of people were saying, how could Andre get All-Star snubbed? And do you think, bottom line, it's because of the Cavaliers, where they reside in terms of the NBA East?
Yeah, no question. The record not very good at all. But then you say, well, hey, how did Sharif Abdur-Rahim make it? The Atlanta Hawks have every bit as poor a record, but generally big guys get a little more notice with the points and the rebounds, plus so many other guard factors in the Eastern Conference. Guys like Jason Kidd and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, who are having outstanding seasons, and their teams are winning.
They are plentiful, aren't they? Yeah. Those guards that are stellar. Off the Michael Jordan miss, Bryant Stiff thinking about it. Brian Skinner twisting baseline, wouldn't go down for him. Well, Popeye Jones, very professional NBA veteran, 9th year out of Murray State, and he is a glass cleaner. Jahidi White. Oh, Michael Jordan is making Jahidi White look like $1 million on the offensive end.
Well, that's the problem. Big guys are instructed to be ready to help out on Michael Jordan, step out on screens and all that kind of thing, and then you forget about Jahidi White, who on his own wouldn't be able to score at all, but he's got 6 points in the first quarter already.
The Wizards have blown out to a 10-point lead. Brian Stiff had his pass slapped away. Numbers for the Wizards. Courtney Alexander will glide and finish off the glass. This is a 12-point Washington lead.
Yeah, that's a rare fast break opportunity for the Wizards, but that kind of turnover, as Chris Mim didn't really protect the passer there. He waited for the ball to come to him instead of stepping up to receive the ball.
Bryant Stiff got in trouble. And now got that whistle from Jahidi White, as Blaine Reichelt will get an earful from Michael Jordan. It is Jahidi White on the personal foul. Timeout on the floor. Michael Jordan continuing to find a big fella from Georgetown, who's got 6 on 3 of 4 from the floor.
Old man winter nipping at your nose? How'd you like to go on a Caribbean cruise? That's right. Fox Sports Net and Pizza Hut want to send you on a Caribbean cruise for 2. We'll fly you and a guest to the Sunshine State, where you'll board a luxury liner bound for white sandy beaches, crystal blue water, and fun in the sun. Just stop by any Columbus area Pizza Hut or drop a postcard in the mail, including your name, address, and phone number to the address below. Fox Sports Net and Pizza Hut want to send you on a Caribbean cruise, so don't wait. Get registered today.
Buster Douglas Grill Daddy demo, aisle 5.
See, what happens is the fat drips off the meat into the pan, so the meat is very lean, very lean.
But there's no place for the fat to go.
Say what?
Well, how could it stay lean if there's no place for the fat to go?
You're calling me a liar?
No, it's just that you're poker.
How do I get in there?
You can't get in here!
Oh, no, sure you can. Come here. Comedy, commentary, highlights, the best damn sports show, period.
You got a piece sometime.
It's a college hoops doubleheader, Saturday at noon on Fox Sports Net.
A deep fly to left, and that one's out of here.
It's your mom.
She thinks you stink too.
Moo.
Rated E.
The Cleveland Crunch are kicking it on Fox Sports Net. Friday night, it's a showdown at the Convo Center as the Cleveland Crunch battle it out with the Harrisburg Heat. This is no pretty boys soccer. Crunch Heat, Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Net.
John Lucas, the Cavaliers down by a dozen, not a very auspicious beginning. We're joined here courtside by Bill Needle tonight, who has number 23 in his mind.
Gentlemen, if you think it's a misperception that Michael Jordan saves his best for the Cavaliers, you better think again. He's got 6 of the top 12 opponents scoring games against the Cavaliers. He's got the top game in regulation, in overtime, and in the playoffs. He's the only opponent in more than 30 years to average better than 30 points a game against the Cavs. And check this out. He's got 7 regular season opponent records, 2 Gund Arena records, and even better, 23 opponent playoff records against the Cavaliers. It's not perception, guys. It's reality.
Yeah, he does fill up the pages that Bob Price, Todd Vonville, and Matt Yansko, the Cavaliers Fine PR department, have in the Cavaliers media guide. It's pretty much exclusive Jordan.
Well, a big reason for the success of Michael Jordan, especially during the years when the Cavaliers had the great teams in the early 90s, is Lenny Wilkens' philosophy was not to double team Michael Jordan. Try to play it straight up, because really the Cavaliers were just as good as the Chicago Bulls. I can't fault that strategy, but when you play Michael Jordan one-on-one, you've got to put up a lot of points.
That he is. And right now, have they started around the nation's capital to refer to the Jordaneers, his supporting cast, because they're doing it here tonight. Chris Mihm to answer the Chris Whitney jumper with the jump hook that falls, as Mihm has hit 2 of his first 3 shot attempts of the evening.
Well, in the early part of the season, Michael's teammates were kind of walking on eggshells out there, looking over their shoulder. They're making a lot of mistakes. They were intimidated by Michael. That seemed to wear off after what has now become the infamous "We Stink" game right here in Cleveland.
Yeah. Mihm thought about that face-up jumper. You're right, Matty. On November 27th, that was Michael's response. Brian Stiff will cash out that dotted line jumper for the Cavaliers. Stiff has 4.
Now, they've had a couple of clinkers in the time span in between. The blowout in New Jersey, even though they beat the Chicago Bulls, they look horrible doing it. So, you know, they're a team that's still very, very fragile. But as long as Michael Jordan's out on the floor most nights, you're going to have a chance to win.
You think, huh? Yeah. Chance to get that W. Stiff the triple. Got it. Brian Stiff. 20 the other night against Boston. 17 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Matty averaging 17 points, and now 9 of 17 on 3s in those 2 starts.
And Brian has to be aggressive. He's got to look for his shots. He's got to make Michael Jordan move. He's got to make him work on defense, so Jordan just can't stand around and then pretty much help his teammates on defense.
Well, Michael Jordan missed for the 2nd consecutive time to the offensive end. That jumper was flat. Michael Doliak on the floor for the Cavaliers. Rolled off that pick, and Jahidi White sent him away. Doliak will stay with it and get the reverse to fall.
I was all set up on the Jordan double team of Andre Miller, kind of opened up the gates with a Michael Doliak cut, kind of a tiptoe through the tulips double team by Jordan. Normally he comes much harder and stronger on double teams.
Cavaliers are on an 11-2 run as Andre Miller found his former college teammate Michael Doliak. Cavaliers down 3.
Right now, get out there and get in a new Ford, because your local Ford store is with great deals at America's #1 choice. Now take up to $2,500 cash back or 0% financing on select Fords. That's $2,500 cash back or 0%. The right deal, the right time, right now. Because we're with the best deals on America's #1 choice.
In our house, we work together to keep things running smoothly, but no one works as hard as CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner Deodorizer. In the bathroom before work, the kids' after-school snack, Dad's famous spaghetti sauce, stains, soap scum, even hard water deposits don't stand a chance. It used to take 3 or 4 different products to clean the 2 messiest rooms in our house. Now just one CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner Deodorizer does it all.
You'll find CLR Bathroom and Kitchen Cleaner Deodorizer at these and other fine stores.
Hockey fans, a great tradition returns. Cleveland Barons Hockey. Fast-paced AHL action comes to Gund Arena. Barons games make fantastic outings for any business, community, religious, or athletic organization. Call 216-420-0000 for more information.
Style points for that young man. Kind of like it. Cavaliers trying to say something about that tonight. Cavs down by 3. I want to remind you, starting next Tuesday, it's Television Week on Sports Talk 850 WKNR. Next Friday, 6 to 9 o'clock, your chance to weigh in with some of the gang that you hear on Fox Sports Net. My partner Matt Gukas, John Sanders, Matt Underwood, Bill Needle. They'll wake you up with the latest scoop of Cleveland sports. Tune in to Sports Talk 850 for TV Week. Don't miss a crew from Fox Sports Net. That's a week from tomorrow, Friday, February the 8th. Cavaliers down by 3. Michael Jordan off the screen and elevating and drilling the jumper.
Well, Michael looks like a totally different player than he was the first time in here. Now, I know he shot the ball very well down at the MCI Center last week, but there's something to be said for the